Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Welcome to another Stellaris Console Edition video. The Chronicles of the Iwantu Rokk continue, for now anyway. Things aren't exactly going great, but it's the year 2251, and when we left off, the Rokk had just been attacked by some space amoebas from this system, and they moved up this way through our space and ended up here, where they proceeded to wipe out both of my fleets. So, as we start this new episode, both of our fleets are missing, and dangerous creatures are flying through our space. But our scientists are staying busy, and they've discovered some dead bodies which appear to be about 600,000 years old. So we will continue to investigate that, but we have more immediate concerns because these creatures are really causing problems. It's not as if my decision making wasn't bad enough, but now the Iwantu Rokk also have to deal with the game trying to kill them. And that includes these creatures heading into our home system and flying right by our home planet. And I didn't realize it at the time, but one of our missing fleets had returned, and so they're about to be defeated again, because that's just the way it goes for the Iwantu Rokk. Bad luck, bad decisions, and I think we all know they are eventually doomed.
Special project complete.
But our scientists are staying busy, trying not to think about it, and they have confirmed that those dead bodies are very old and they were killed by some killer machines back in the day. Both of our missing fleets returned, and I was observant enough that I moved them out of the way because I noticed that the space amoebas were heading toward this very system. So I moved our fleets, but the good news is the space amoebas just continued on through, and they flew out of our space into the space controlled by the multiplex. Meanwhile, we have developed a new faction within our society, and they want us to be more outwardly spiritual, which is fine because we're spiritualists, so no big deal. Rock on, as they say. So our fleets are relatively safe for now, and we can start to repair and reinforce. But my economy is in such terrible shape, it's going to take me a long time to get these fleets in good enough shape to defend us, much less good enough to attack anybody else. And we will need to defend ourselves because we are literally surrounded by enemies. The calamari might be our friends, but they're the only ones. Everybody else wants us dead. I'm trying to keep the Carillions from attacking us, so I've been giving them very one-sided trade deals, and they accept them. But I don't think they're going to stay friendly for long, but never mind that. We have made contact with another merchant alien, and this would be exciting news if my economy was in better shape and I was able to afford to actually buy anything. But they are located here in this space station, and this space station is down here between the Tyrell Corporation and the Carillions. So we could deal with them if we had the cash, but we don't, so let's turn our attention to archaeology. We just recently started a dig here on this planet. We have discovered the remains of a rat-like civilization. They tunneled into the planet, and they were apparently hoarding objects, and one object in particular was very important to them. So we're going to keep digging. Right here you can see the state of the galaxy, and these empires right here, I believe, will eventually join together and wipe the rest of us out. That's kind of what I'm expecting to happen. So I don't know if I should try to stay friendly with them or if I should try to team up with the calamari. The calamari are just ending a war with the multiplex, and I think they actually got the better of that war. So it might be good to be friendly with them, but meanwhile, on the surface of the planet with the rat-like civilization, we've got a bunch of wreckage that we could clear out of the way, but first I'm going to build a couple of mining districts to try to help out our economy a little bit. Earlier in the game, we got into a war with some other subterranean creatures, which we wiped out, but we have discovered a pocket of survivors, and we're going to go ahead and put them out of their misery and hopefully end that very embarrassing chapter of Rokk history. But meanwhile, the Tyrell Corporation has declared the Calamari their rival, and the Calamari have done the same. And the Senate has passed the Guardian Angels Act, but I just can't make myself care about that, so let's move on. Let's go back to our archaeological dig. The rat-like creatures, they're fascinating. We've been going through their stuff, and it appears that the artifact that they really thought was important is the same thing that we are looking for, the Rubricator. And we haven't found it yet, so we're going to keep looking. But meanwhile, another faction has appeared in our society, and they want us to be friendly with alien species. And trust me, I want to be friendly with them too, because I'm scared of all of them, including the Calamari, and they're friendly, or relatively friendly. One of our rulers has developed an eye for talent. But more importantly, we have earned another tradition point. And we are just barely getting started in the supremacy tree, so we have several good options here. But I think the best thing to do right now is to lower our ship upkeep by 10% and increase our naval capacity by 20%. So hopefully this will help our economy at least a little bit, and we can increase the size of our fleets. Meanwhile, on Classic Rokk, where we just wiped out that pocket of survivors, we have located what appears to be a treasury, and we got 500 energy credits out of that, which is good because it is now time to bribe the Zadran Marauders again. Every once in a while they threaten us with an attack unless we offer tribute, and really the only thing I can afford to give away is energy. We just got 500 credits, and I'm going to pay the Marauders 250 credits to keep them out of our space. But meanwhile, at the dig, we have made the disturbing discovery of some regurgitated bodies and also some minor artifacts. I've just been saving these minor artifacts, and I really haven't decided what to do with them yet. We have a few options, as you can see, but I'm still thinking about it. And in the Senate, speaking of thinking about it, they want to start the galactic market, which I guess is good, and I'm going to go ahead and support this, even though I don't really give a damn what goes on in the Senate. But speaking of the market, over at our archaeological dig, we have just discovered some exotic gases. So once the galactic market is up and running, we will be able to sell those if we want to, which is nice. I need the cash. But never mind that. 42 years ago, we discovered an atomic clock that was counting down, and it has just completed that countdown, and it released a bunch of nanomachines, which flew off toward another planet and then very quickly terraformed it into a Gaia world. So this is some good news for the Iwantu Rokk. We have been very challenged with our real estate. We haven't had very many planets to deal with and build on, but now we have a Gaia world to colonize. And we're going to go ahead and build an Iwantu Rokk colony ship. And normally I would just assume that colonizing this Gaia world would piss off a fallen empire and then they would attack us. But in this game, I did not put any fallen empires in the game, so I don't have to worry about it. We're going to rename this planet Rock of Ages, and that reminds me I need to rename a couple of other planets that I forgot to rename. So now all is right in the universe, and we can continue on and die happily. But never mind that, we have just made contact with another race of merchant aliens, and I really like these guys, the Curator Order. They are all about knowledge, and if you pay them enough, they will increase your research speed for, I believe, 120 months. So it's a nice bonus, and hopefully this will allow us to unlock some technology that will keep us from being completely wiped out. And I don't mean to sound so pessimistic, but I mean, who can blame me? We can't be very optimistic about the future of the Iwantu Rokk, given what's happened so far. But never mind that. These colonists surely feel optimistic as they head out, leaving their depressing planet and heading toward a beautiful Gaia world. So maybe we should all just try to imagine that feeling and be a little bit more optimistic about the future of the Rokk. I don't know. I'm not really seeing it. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to work out well, but I'm not going to give up either. Meanwhile, at the archaeological dig, we seem to be getting close to the rubricator. We have found some more minor artifacts. And now I've got 27 minor artifacts. And I still haven't really decided what to do with them. I could spend 25 to discover a precursor insight, but I don't know if that's the way to go. I could display them, I could sell them, I could proclaim a religious revelation, or celebrate diversity. We're not very diverse exactly, so that's probably not going to be the one. But never mind that for now. Our translation software has just malfunctioned and insulted the Corellians, which is not great news. This happened earlier in the game with the calamari, but the calamari thought it was funny, and the Corellians are not amused, so that is unfortunate. Meanwhile, one of our governors has gained the righteous trait, but more importantly, the autocracy of Calamar has just declared war on the Tyrell Corporation. So I'm going to be very interested to see how this war plays out. The galactic market is getting started, so now we can sell a few things if we want to. But yeah, like I said a few times, the calamari are our only potential friend, so I probably need to ally myself with them as soon as possible, but never mind that, because a gigantic, dangerous, dragon-like creature has just appeared, apparently in response to the rubricator. We were able to translate the sounds they were making, and they appear to want to eat us, which is not great. We could demand the rubricator, but we're not going to do that. We are going to beg for our lives. Please don't hurt us, Shard. Shard the dragon. And they look at us and they seem to think that we would give them a stomach ache. So they say just to get away from them. And so now they're just hanging out by Fraggle Rock here. And for a while, they're just kind of doing nothing, and they're not a danger to anybody, but it's not long before they become hostile. Apparently, I guess they have gotten hungry enough that they don't care about a potential stomachache, and so they're thinking about eating us after all. But there are no ships in this system now, so I guess this big creature is just going to hang out here and be a roadblock, essentially. But it's not all bad, because as you can see, this is not a choke point. This creature is not blocking us from going anywhere except for that one particular system. So It's not as bad as it could be, but it's still not great. But I guess in the good news category, our colony ship is now approaching our new Gaia world, so that's happy news. But yeah, like I said, I can't be very optimistic about the Iwantu Rokk's future. We all know that I'm not a great player of this game. I just love the game, so I keep playing it even though I'm not that great at it. So I make a lot of bad decisions, and it doesn't help when we also have bad luck to go along with those bad decisions. But I think this is a good spot to go ahead and end this video. Things are still not going great. I'm still not optimistic, but we are still not giving up. I'll be interested to see how the war with the Calamari and the Tyrell Corporation plays out, and maybe we will try to ally ourselves with the Calamari after that. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.